Okay, here we go. Let's try another marriage warning video. Let's say that you're married, and we'll speak in the male form here. So you're a man, you got married to a woman. She's treating you great. She has such a wonderful attitude, sense of humor. She's affectionate. She cares about you so much. Well, if all of that was happening, of course you would want to cook dinner for her. Of course you want to wash her car when it's dirty. Of course you want to fill up her gas tank, and you would want to wash the dishes for her because, you see, she's treating you so well that you are naturally and just humanly speaking going to respond in a wonderful way back to her. She's doing things for you, so of course you'll fix her computer, and she's cooking for you and just giving her life to you as a wonderful marriage blessing. Of course you're going to want to make the bed and vacuum the floor of your house and go shopping when there's no food. Now, you know you'll do this, and I know that you would do this. Now, what I said all of there is not real life. You only see that in movies, to be honest with you. Now let's get to the warning. What will you do if your wife or husband is being mean to you on a semi-regular basis? What will you do if they don't want to hold your hand? If they don't want to cuddle with you? If they don't want to hug you? What would you do then for her or him? What would you do for your spouse if they scream at you a lot? If they argue with you on a regular basis? What would you be willing to do if your spouse is always debating with you, going against you, disagreeing with you? If that was true, then what would you be willing to do? Let's try one or two more. Let's say that your spouse, wife or husband, starts to become an enemy of yours in the house, opposing you, disrespecting you, tearing you down, verbally abusing you. Let me ask you, now, what would you be willing to do for them? So let me get to the warning now so we can keep the video short. Listen carefully. If your wife or husband is treating you badly, are you going to still wash the dishes every day for them? If your spouse is disrespecting you, even stealing a little bit of money out of the bank account, if your spouse keeps spending and spending money on buying shoes or hats or jewelry or cologne or movies on DVD, are you going to be willing to still clean the bathrooms, do the laundry, and mop the floors? If your spouse is flirting with another person at work behind your back, but you find out in secret that they are actually flirting with their boss or coworker, are you going to be willing to mop the floors, wash her car every Saturday, take her car to the gas station and fill up the gas tank, drive him or her to work, pick them up at 5 p.m. at night and bring them back home? Will you be willing to do that for them? Because here's the warning now. If you're not willing to do all of these things for your spouse, when they are your worst enemy, when they are arguing with you, debating, fighting, screaming, scratching your arm, grabbing your arm, pulling you away, if you're not willing to scrub the floors, clean the toilets, and do the laundry when your spouse is sometimes acting like a demon, then you probably shouldn't get married. Now, I know we've seen the Christian marriages on TV and in the movies. You've seen them where everything works out perfectly, and I've seen them where everything works out perfectly. But is that reality? Is that actually the way that life really is? Well, let me give you a little statistic here. The Christian marriage divorce rate in the United States is around a whopping 52%. So as you can see, those Christian prosperity videos were not telling us the truth. And those Christian prosperity movies, for example, I'll mention one, I think it was called The Prayer Room, which I saw in the theater, is not necessarily telling you the truth, where everything always works out great and wonderful and fantastic, and God does this miracle and that miracle, and everything is gonna work out. Well, if that was true, why is the divorce rate 52%? I'll tell you why. Because it doesn't always work out. So one last warning here. If you are a single Christian, will you be willing to bless your spouse, help your spouse, pray for your spouse, wash the floors, bathrooms, toilets, kitchen, and their car, getting gas and going shopping for them, taking them to work and back, even though they are acting like a demon? They have turned into your worst enemy. The arguing, screaming, fighting, debating, sleepless nights, the anger, the frustration, the depression. Are you going to be willing to bless them over and over and over and over again, 7 days a week when they are acting like that? If your answer is no, probably don't get married for now. If your answer is no to that stuff, probably stop praying for a spouse. Cancel your subscriptions on your dating sites on the computer. Stop going to Christian singles events. If you're not willing to fall down to the floor on your hands and knees and humble yourself before the Lord while your spouse is acting like your worst enemy that you've ever had, probably don't think about getting married for now. Am I saying that these things are going to happen in your marriage? Most likely, yes. In the rare occasion, no. Jesus will rain down some exceptional grace in a marriage over here and a marriage over there and a marriage over there where these things won't happen, so he can show off his grace, mercy, kindness, love, and generosity to the spirit realm, who are all watching what he's doing. But final warning, most likely 9 times out of 10 or even more than that, you are going to be going through the things that I've mentioned in this video. Will you be willing to be their servant while they're acting like a monster towards you? I've been married for 2 years now. I know what I'm talking about here. You better listen to me. If you're not willing to be a servant to your spouse while they are acting like a monster to you, don't get married. Don't do it for now. Keep working on humbling yourself while you stay single. Work on letting the pride go. Practice your spiritual warfare of humbling yourself and abiding in Jesus every hour. Practice that for another 6 months. Listen to this video again 6 months from now and see if the Lord has changed your heart yet. See if your soul is different now. See if your mind is thinking differently towards these thoughts. As I say goodbye, I say this. 2 years ago, when I got married, after our wedding, I was not willing to practice this. 1 year ago, with 1 year of practice, I was more willing to practice this. 3 months ago, after being married almost 2 years, I'm practicing this right now, today. After being married for 2 years, I'm trying to practice being the servant during the difficult times, the hard times, the tests that Jesus is raining down in our marriage, the trials, the tribulations, the tormenting, all of it. After 2 years, I'm trying to practice. Do I fail? Yes. Do I make mistakes in this? Yes, I do. But I've practiced enough now where the Lord is using me to make a video for you. Are you willing to be a servant to your spouse while they are raining down hell on top of your head? If your answer is no, stay single for now. Amen.